It seems like to me the trade for James Harden is becoming more and more complicated. When I think about this situation in its entirety, you look at it from a standpoint of you've been hearing reports about James Harden and how he's going to be traded. And now if you look at the reports now, you can check out a lot of sites where it's saying that James Harden is demanding to be traded from the 76ers and to the Clippers. And, it's just like sounds like a lot of drama back and forth going on. And I don't know if the Clippers really need all this because, first of all, with James Harden, when he was with the Brooklyn Nets, a lot of people blame Kyrie, for the breakup. And rightfully so. Kyrie is just one of those type guys. But at the same time, James Harden is too. He can be a diva. And when things are not going his way, or if he's not playing to expectation, he starts, pouting, kind of sort of to the media and kind of like, stay shied away, to a degree. And then when he plays good, it's an addition, but it's not like consistent like it used to be. So, I mean, with the antics that come with him and the divaness that comes with him and the non-winning that comes with him, I don't know if the Clippers really would want to take this challenge on, after, hearing some of the things I'm hearing. And, even before that, I've said, on many, shows before and like just talking to regular people as well. I've never been the biggest James Harden fan. I think James Harden is really good. I think he's a really gifted scorer, but I think that's all he is. I don't think he's a winner. I don't think he can help you win a championship. Now, I will say this. If he came to the Clippers, they would be a tough team if they stayed healthy. It's no doubt about that because they would have four guys where all of them were superstar or are superstar players. You know what I'm saying? And it would be, colossal if they stayed healthy with Kawhi, PG, Russell, and James Harden if that actually happened. But at the same time, James Harden has to show up in big moments. And there's another thing in big moments, is he going to show up if you need him to? And that's one of the biggest knocks on his game. And it has been for years that he doesn't show up in big moments in like big series, playoffs, or he chokes, however you want to look at it. That's another thing the Clippers should consider. And on top of that, like I said, the ice on the cake is really what we're talking about. You're hearing a lot of disgruntledness from the 76ers side in regards to the locker room and how things are. And like I said, James Harden's demanded to be traded, almost like he was in a bad situation or something like that. I mean, the Sixers got a really good team, honestly, Maxey himself and, Joel Embiid. So, I mean, I thought, they would actually beat the Celtics and go head on to the conference finals, but they didn't. But they had a good enough team to do it. And this is my thing, with the disgruntledness going on in that organization with Doc Rivers and all other type things, and James Harden being voiceful of his opinion and all these things, and James Harden not playing up to the level of capability that we known him to be able to at one point when he was on Houston. I mean, I think the Clippers should compartmentalize all this and take a look at it and really step back and look at it for what it's worth and say, hey, do we really need to go after James Harden, or should we just, go with what we have? Because honestly, if Russ can play a little bit better overall, for the Clippers, which I believe it's a possibility he can, or at least I know he wants to. If he could play a little bit better for the Clippers and they can, keep the roster they have, keep Norman Powell, everybody, the depth that they have, and all the pieces that they got, and stay healthy with their combination of talent, they can win the championship anyway. They wouldn't even really need James Harden, honestly. I mean, you think about Kawhi and PG, them two alone can stop anything other teams are trying to do offensively. Them two alone can do that. Then, like I said, you add Terrence Mann in, and, he comes in with energy, and Russ has energy still. Russ is still, he still can get to the basket at times. His passing is a little off at times, and, his turnovers are, but still, Russ is still a good player. He's still known as a superstar, and he still is a really good player. He can give you, maybe, if they can maybe get like 17 and 8 out of Russ every night, he can give you that. He may give you 4 turnovers, but he'll give you 17 and 8 every night. He can do that on a nightly basis. So my point is, the team that they have is already really good enough. It only just needs to stay. They only need to stay healthy in order for them to win it, and don't trade no other pieces on their team except Marcus Morris and maybe like a couple picks or something like that, or somebody off the bottom of the bench if they want to make a trade for, to get like another decent role player in there. That's all the Clippers really need, because they got everything they need. They got defense, they got offense, they got the coach, supposedly they got the organization, the owner, the billionaire owner. I mean, they got everything they need. So I don't really think they need to fight and claw to go after James Harden. I mean, if the trade lands, well, where it works out, for the Clippers, and they don't, have to worry about much, and it's not complicated, where the Sixers want back Terrence Mann with a couple other like a Norman Powell and a Marcus Morris or something like that. If it's something like that, then no, you don't do that. I wouldn't even trade Marcus Morris and Norman Powell for James Harden. Me personally, I wouldn't do that, because I think Norman Powell is a scorer and Marcus Morris still has a little bit left in him, but still, I don't know. I mean, I personally wouldn't. I would keep the team the way it is. I wouldn't fight for James Harden. If, like I said, if the Sixers basically want to give him to you, then you take that. But I wouldn't go all out and try to do everything they demand to get James Harden, a guy who doesn't show up in the playoffs and who's known for choking. And, he has his share of injuries as well. So Clippers got to really take a look and, analyze things and look at it for what it's worth, and make the best decision. But either way, leave any comments in the comment section, and we'll talk about it.